Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. I don't have it. Nothing's working right now on here. So we're gonna have to just deal with it. Back in town though, finally. That was a long, it starts getting long. It went by quick, but you know, it's like, you just want to get back home. Wow, that fly was on Chloe's name there. It was weird. I'm gonna go see if I can get the blue camera working. All right, Blue and Chloe. Just a second. Hey, thanks, Kami. And yes, I would appreciate any support you freaks can give me. Let's see. Also, earlier today, thank you to Karen, Lillian, and Nancy again. And also Lisa Sorensen, and thank you very much to Wendy, or I won't say the name now because I screwed up and I didn't say the right one. But anyways, thank you. Yeah, my thing is, if you feel traumatized by the house being torn down, like literally traumatized, like you're struggling, you probably shouldn't follow true crime. You know what I mean? Like, that's just sort of a thing where that's probably a bellwether event for you. Like, you just go, you know what? I shouldn't be following true crime. You know, a house is torn down that, you know, was the scene of a murder of 4 people, and it traumatizes. That's sort of a strange thing at that point, right? Yeah, it's, I mean, I could see you being, you know, like, sad in some way, you know, like,
You know, sort of the last thing sort of standing that they were living in. But to really feel traumatized and sort of like triggered, you know, true crime probably isn't the genre for you at that point. Something to keep in mind, maybe take a look at. Hold on a second.
Thanks for the awesome coverage, Gray.
One second. Alright, let's see. So, I mean, when I was out there, I actually got drone footage as well. You guys saw the live stream earlier, and it had just the, you know, the live feed. It's hard to get a really clear shot on a cell phone when you're probably 75 yards away, and you have to zoom in, and it gets kind of grainy and it's dark. But, I mean, you could still see it, right? But still, you got the whiny, bitchy people in the comments going, gosh, this could have been better, you know, you could have. Well, how about you just shut the hell up? Where were you? You know? I mean, hell, WFLA's footage sucked, okay? And not only that, what did he say on that show? He said, even if Bryan Kohberger was the killer, that's how he phrased it. You know, even if Bryan Kohberger was a killer, you know, this is, what do you mean, even if? Even if? What? Are you freaking nuts? Wow. It's embarrassing. Wow. I mean, I don't know what the hell. You know what's weird to me, you guys? WFLA is a Florida channel. They cover every freaking true crime case in the country. Why don't they just change their name and get rid of the FLA part of it? All right? It's ridiculous. Hey, thanks, Hostitler Sandra. Somebody just messaged me and said, Gray, what are you doing? You should be covering the Soto case. You could get a lot of subs from it. Oh, my God, Gray. Yeah, I've been looking into the Soto case. I knew about the Soto case like 4 days ago, just when they were missing. Or 3 days ago, whatever the hell it was. And I just, you know, I'm more interested in something else right now. I don't need to, you know, if people want to sub to my channel, they can sub to my channel. Hey, thank you, Gwendolyn B. You know, it's not all about, like, jumping on some bandwagon of some sort. I'll definitely, you know, look into it. I've got screenshots and different things. I know where the different locations are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, man, I don't need you to send me messages telling me, hey, Gray, you got to get on this one. All right, thanks. You still believe in me? What do you mean? That implies that I did something that you might not be. I don't think it's a mistake at all. Yeah. People just want it to be a mistake to create intrigue and sort of interest. It's just not really. Yeah, well, thanks, LM. I was kind of planning on it. I didn't really let people know I was going, because last time I mentioned it, one of the mods was like, hey, everybody, Gray's going to be going to. And then that's when you get the trolls showing up. Right? Thanks, LM. Believe in my vision. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, but we'll look at the Soto case tomorrow. I want to keep going here though, because I've been, you know, I was just there, right? I was in Idaho. I don't feel like stopping on a dime right now just to cover something else so I can be one of the cool people and be like right there. I do have information, been looking at it. Zozo sent me stuff, and it's a case that I knew about a few days ago, and it kind of took a wild turn. I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, the way that it was worded, we don't know what's going on. So, a lot of misinformation out there. Yeah, I know. I know they found a couple dead, Olivia. I've been following it. Yeah. I just told you that. Let's see. Man, I was... that drive didn't take that long. What we kept doing was... Genesis would read all the comments under the videos, and then eventually we went back and watched the live stream again, and he read through. We were just laughing. I mean, some of the craziest people show up in these live streams. I mean, last night we had crazy people, but today's live stream brought out the whole band. Like, there were literally, I would say, hundreds of nut jobs running around. I know there's nothing on the screen right now. I have nothing open. I'll put the dogs on until I get this. Thanks, DMC Donald. I really, to tell you the truth, I don't understand when people say that they think it's a mistake. Somebody emailed me the Gonzalez's comment, and I just think he's way too wrapped up in it. I think a lot of people would feel like he did, but then eventually they would sort of mellow out. He's gotten more and more just sort of like, just kind of like an uneasy, it's kind of weird feeling to me. I don't like it. Just too much going on in his head, and he's saying it all out loud, and it's kind of like, let law enforcement do their thing. They know what the hell they're doing. And when the trial comes, you'll be like, oh, okay. Instead, you're creating issues now. And that's what I believe. I don't like the feeling. And I understand the sides, like, oh yeah, we need to keep it up there. But then you have to say, how long do you keep it up for? You have to wait for, let's say he's found guilty and he gets the death penalty. Then he has appeals. Do we keep it up for all those years and turn it into a cathedral? Here's the shrine where 4 people. It's getting kind of ridiculous. Remember how they were going to take the house down like 8 months ago, and then it was held up for, okay, the defense wants to get in there and look at stuff. Then they had another 8 months to do whatever they needed to go do. They signed off on it too, so that's not going to be an issue. If I was the judge, I'd say if you bring up to the jury one time ever in this trial that you are that the prosecution wanted to take it down to hide something, or any kind of comment like that at all, you're removed from the case immediately. That's exactly what I would say, because the prosecution and the defense both agreed to take down the house. Okay, so now if they're trying to create some sort of issue for themselves later just to do it, well, sure, they could have done that. No, I don't care if he... Yeah. Let me ask you something. How does anybody that wears a clown outfit on a daily basis on their show have any credibility at all? Don't you understand? He's already just absolutely loading you up with crap right off the get-go, wearing a clown face with... it's just... And you guys are believing it. Wow. Unreal. Scary shit, really. Let me see, what do I got here for the drone? I recorded these in much higher quality of, this is the Mavic Mini. I have so much, I'm just going to go right to the day. let's see, 28, 28, right, okay, 28. There it is right there. And we'll move it over, let me move this to the other middle monitor, and then to the right here, and here we go. Hey, JK, so you've missed all my live streams. You can then hear you pause, and I figured he pulled in. Oh, that one, yeah, that was crazy. I knew it. I saw as soon as I saw the cop when I was driving by. I go, oh God, here we go. I'm out of state. Yeah, so this is when we first got there. It was a little bit dark, but you can see it clearly. You know, it's not like. That's amazing. It literally tells you the latitude and longitude on each of these shots here down here, exactly where you're standing when you're filming. There's a button you can press that looks straight down. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Mark Willis. You know what we should do is maybe we should read before we do the drone footage. We can go over the Gonzalez family comment here. I've got it stored from earlier in the day. Like they wrote this on their Facebook page. So let's see. This is our family statement that went out to the media yesterday. The house is set to be demolished today. Please pray for our family as this is an extremely emotional day for us. Now I can definitely see it be emotional for them. It's the last place their children were alive, and that building is now not, it's torn down. And in my mind, while I was driving home today, that's one of the reasons I think that they're so adamant about keeping it up, and it's more to do with that than the trial portion. You know, but I think that's what they're using to sort of justify the feelings. It's because, let me just say this. You guys remember the Jodi Arias trial? Anybody out there? The jury never went to that crime scene, and that crime scene absolutely was very similar. That we're talking about like this bedroom, that's really the whole case was right there in that bathroom, and huge master bedroom and the walk-in closet in the bathroom, and it was just absolutely insane what happened in there. The jury never went in there. They had hundreds and hundreds of photographs and a map, and guess what? The trial took 5 years to happen, and there was already somebody else living in there. Right? So if the jury even went there, it wouldn't make any difference because the crime scene is already changed. This is absolutely common that there isn't a crime scene to go visit. All right? People go, how dare they take down a crime scene? When does it ever happen? Every single time there's a crime scene, for example, at a park or on a street somewhere or anything like that, that crime scene is cleaned up right away. But yes, the techs get in there. They take photographs. They do all those different things. And nobody goes, oh, God, how dare you? Look at you guys. It's just people's emotions are crazy here. I get the other side, like, oh, boy, you need it there in case there's some sort of a question by a jury member, and that might be the deciding factor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I get that sort of argument, but come on, you guys. The technology today and the photographs and the 3D scanning using FaroScan, imaging, just all these different things. It's right there. They know what the distances are. They have the 3D model of it. They'll just say, look, here's where here's where Dylan Mortensen was standing. The door was open a little bit. Yeah. And it's just so incredible. You hear people talking about, this is a cover-up by the university. What? What the hell are you talking about? How is this a cover-up by the university? Anybody? Can anybody explain how this could possibly be construed as a cover-up by the university? Anybody? Just one person out there, if you can give me just a glimmer of something that would just... And you always, whatever, you know what happens? Nothing. Nobody has an answer for any of these types of things. They just say it because some clown told them to say it, or told them something. They believed it. And when you have so many thousands of people watching absolute garbage and believing it, then there's a problem out there. Okay? Especially somebody who literally dresses up as a clown being your source of interest, like your source of knowledge. Wow. Hey, Jay Case. Yeah. All right. So anyways, let's go through this one. The Gonzalez family has reached out to the Latah County Prosecutor's Office and the University of Idaho to stop this madness. Madness? Really? Okay. Right. When the victims can't speak, you have to speak for them when you feel someone is hurting the case. Let's just answer the question on why the King Road house should stand for basic evidentiary purposes. One, let me see if there's like good points in here. What were the vantage points of the roommates, Dylan and Bethany? What could they hear from where they were in the house? And what could they see? How far away was Dylan when she saw BK? And why didn't he see her? This is all stuff easily shown just by using the Faro scan. You just go like this. It's 4 feet. Look, she's right here. He's walking to the door. He's 2 feet away. There was a crack in the, it's simple shit, okay? It's simple. I know you wouldn't, because it's sort of a memorial for the last place that they were alive. Yeah, but when would you take it down, Zozo? Before the appeals were over, or what? Just one trial, or what? Everybody just wants to say it like it's just, I don't know, man. It drives me nuts. I just explained to you how almost every single other case, people don't go to the crime scene. There isn't like 2 years later you go into some sort of a house or a street somewhere where somebody was killed and there's still a yellow ribbons tape around keeping that place completely isolated from everybody else for all those years. I know, that's what I'm saying, Alibaba. It's if you sell people garbage, more people watch. You don't need to have the opportunity when you have all of the photographs, all of the scanning. This is how it's been done for many, many years now. Okay? They're just taking the house down. I get the argument and everything. I just feel like people are getting way too caught up in we gotta keep it up, we gotta keep it up. Oh yeah, they know he's innocent, so they tore the house down. Is that what you're saying, Andy? What do you mean if they need to check sound? Jesus. They'd have to put everything back in the house exactly the way it was for the acoustics to be the same. I'm sure they've done tests in there. Come on, you guys. Just wait. Let's wake up and smell the coffee. After this is over. Yeah, probably once the trial's over, Jay. But who knows, man? This might go on forever, given the crazy people out there. So anyways, outside the house, if evidence is presented about BK leaving or watching the house, what windows could he see? Yeah, but they did all this stuff. I guarantee you, they did a Faro scan of the entire place with the bank and everything behind the house. And that place, by the way, everybody, you'll still be able to go into that parking area and say, the house was down there, they went down this bank. The killer went down this bank here. And that was the singular they, like when you say, hey, how's Bob doing? Well, they were a little bit sick this week. Okay, there is a singular they, by the way, but a lot of people think when you say that, oh, look at that, he said they, he's referring to multiple people. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna call you crazy if you don't think it's okay to take the building down But I think you should just sort of rethink it a little bit. You know, I mean, if that's what you think, that's what you think. It's not my hill to die on. I really don't give it. I don't give a crap. I got to be honest with you. I don't care if they left it up or took it down. To me, it makes more sense that they took it down, but it's not something that I sit around going, gosh. I mean, I've never seen something like this made such a big deal over. Unbelievable. Anyways, so outside the house, if evidence is presented about BK leaving or watching the house, what window could he see it from, where he was parked, was he able to view the inside of the house and what was going on from the outside, sitting in a car, walking by, how long did it take for him to walk? See, all these things that he's asking right here, law enforcement's already thought of all these things. They took care of all this stuff. All right? They know what they're doing. What was Xana's path in the house to pick up the DoorDash? Did she... Yeah, but all stuff. See, a path isn't... Let me just tell you guys something. What he's saying right here, what was Xana's path in the house to pick up the DoorDash? Did she have to walk past different rooms? Could she have walked past Bryan Kohberger? Where could he have been hiding? That's not something you would bring the jury into and go, okay, everybody walk over here. This is where... You can just show this by using a diagram of the house and the Pharaoh scan. It's so simple, you guys. Absolutely simple. It's very easy to show these kind of... In fact, it's better. If you have a jury there and you're walking around, people are like, wait, what if she came over? It gets confusing and weird. All right? This is simple to explain. Like, you know the video the 3D model that I have that the clown cuts down because he doesn't have the skill or ability to do anything like that other than put makeup on his face? That is absolutely perfect to use something similar to that, where you can go around and in various locations say, right here, look, this is where she'd be walking by. When you guys watch the animation I have, you can see where things are, right? You know where the living room is, you know where Dylan Mortenson's room is to the stairs, you know where the kitchen is, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, next one is all the entry and exit points in the house. Again, all easily shown. How could you get in and out without anyone seeing you? All easily shown yet again. Were the decks potential access points? No, they weren't. I mean, I'm not sure why you're this weird shit, man. Sure, if you had a grappling hook, you could definitely use one of the decks. Any biological evidence? Where was it located in the house? Easily shown, again, by Pharaoh scan and photographs taken showing where the biological evidence is. So what you do is you have photographs, and you take a photo of it, and then you have a wider shot and say it's right here in the house, and this is where it is in the larger scope of the house. It's right here. And then 7, if the house itself was a target, which was the theory from the beginning, which is the, the house itself the target, okay, which is the supposed reason the University of Idaho called off their campus-wide warning while BK was still not apprehended. What does that have to do with anything? See, this one right here is just a grievance said. This right here has nothing to do with keeping the house up. You understand? So he kind of lost right there. Oh, oops. I mean, anyways, why was the house a target and its access exit points and the driveway configuration for a vehicle to enter, exit, turn around, vantage point of other cameras? Yeah, I mean, they can do all that with Pharaoh scans, everything there. It is with, let's see, and it says, if the home is demolished, will all these questions be able to be answered? Yes. Yes. I'll just say yes right there. And what you said was, if, let's see, the question is, if the home is demolished, will all of these questions be able to be answered later on with diagrams, models, technology, etc., if they become an issue at trial? And the answer is yes, they can be answered using the diagrams, the models, etc. If not, then leave the home alone. Okay, so you're even saying that, yeah, so you might be able to do it, but up above you said this madness. So you referred to it as madness, but down here, if they're able to convey using models and diagrams, then it's okay to take it down. But if not, leave the home alone. So it's not really madness. It's just sort of an opinion thing, right? Please get a trial date scheduled. It is with disappointment and frustration that we have to ask for this publicly. The court in this matter has delayed long enough. The hearing for the challenge to the indictment were in October, and the court finally made a ruling in December on those challenges. The court still has not made a ruling on the in-camera evidence that was presented on December 1st. And here's the thing. I think Kohberger and his defense team, signed off on not having a speedy trial, because at one point they saw what was happening. They saw the evidence that came forward behind the scenes that they're not going to show the public, just like in the Richard Allen case. They're not going to be showing you the really damning stuff. They're just going to talk to you about ghosts and goblins and Odinites. And the clown, by the way, is trying to associate Odinus to the Bryan Kohberger case, because he heard about it in the Delphi case. Can you believe that? And people just lap it up like it's real shit. Yeah! Whew. Wow. Embarrassing. All right, so anyways, I mean, I get his frustration. He's frustrated. He wants answers as quick as possible. He's nervous that something taking down the house will affect the case. But I guarantee you that the FBI and the Idaho, state police and all their forensic people have put together a really strong case, and it's going to be a good one. All right, so back to the drone footage from earlier. All right. So one thing I have to say, sadly, I missed the part right when the main structure at the very, when the deck collapsed and all that stuff, because the battery died. But it's on my live stream. But it was like, oh God, are you kidding me? This is from True Lies. Remember that guy in True Lies, that guy from the Middle East who was filming and the battery was dying low and he was so nervous to tell the guy. Anyways, here we go. Yeah, there it is, zoomed in closer. This is Kaylee's room right here. This is it's sort of interesting. It's harder to this is the kitchen right here, and it's crazy because there was this whole other level thing that came out of her, and that's where Xana's room was. This is the kitchen right here. And then right above is Kaylee's room, and on the other side is Madison's room. And let me well, before we do this, I have some, we'll play the whole thing here in a minute, but I'm going to pull out these, I think I have them over here. Is it over here? God, I don't remember where there's so many files all over the place now. Yeah, Mavic Mini. View large icons. Yeah, so I have photographs here that I took of the residence. Yeah, yesterday I think. And that must be a thumbnail there. Yeah, it looks kind of like it's kind of a weird format. I don't know. But right there, there's the deck, and this whole segment here, like Xana's room was right there. That all of that was ripped down, like at 6:30, for God's sakes. I don't even know what time they started. They said 7 o'clock, right? I got there 10 minutes early, and that whole segment, this whole section right here was gone. This whole thing right here. So all there was left when I started rolling the camera was this part of the building. I mean, that's pretty wild that they would go that quickly and early. Why not do what you said you were going to do and start at 7 o'clock? Alright, so anyways, this is what was going on out there today. I don't think there's any audio on that. But I can just skip around. I'll go to this one. Let me try to open with VLC player. Right there. And this one's a little bit later. So you can see this is the entire, like Xana's room was right here. This is the cement wall right there that had the blood on it, because the blood seeped out of the room and got to right there. And you guys don't forget to help support your local YouTube channel, meaning mine. Grant Hughes Investigates. Trying to, recoup some of the expenses of the trip, along with the $90 speeding ticket, where I went 36 and a 25. I mean, that was great. Oh, by the way, if you're here from the Clowns channel and you're here to go, oh, that cool, that great, just see yourself to the door, okay? Nobody's interested. I'm just telling you, you're being snookered and tricked, and you can believe whatever the hell you want to believe in, but it's total garbage, all right? But you're not allowed to come here and trash this channel. I'm okay to criticize other YouTubers who are putting out false information. All right, I have no problem doing that. True crime is a serious genre on YouTube, being hijacked by a bunch of, well, literally clowns. I mean, it's sick. Okay, and so if you're covering cases, put the factual information. Everything isn't a conspiracy, right? Everything isn't a freaking conspiracy. Have you ever noticed there's a certain group of people that every single true crime case is a literal conspiracy to them? Like there's always something not quite right. Things just don't add up. There's something, and that gets the juices going for the fandom of that type of crap, but it sure as hell isn't true crime, I can tell you that. Oh, they're trying to cover something up there in Idaho. They're trying to cover something up by tearing down the building, those bastards. No, they're not trying to cover up anything. Maybe a sore in the community. I mean, what do you want? To build a shrine? Use the house as a shrine? And every day those kids... See, the kids in the campus have tried to move on. But this house here, it brings people there. I mean, hell, I go there because I want to film and figure out what's going on. I've done that twice now. I don't need to see it again. I'm never going to get to go inside of it, especially not now because it doesn't exist anymore. And it's just one of those things where if it's not there, who the hell's going there anymore? Yeah, it's the house is sort of the hub of why you would go there. Now, you can still do the loops and say, yeah, there was a house right there, and if the hill's still back there, that matters and everything. But the house was sort of the draw, and it was bringing a lot of people into that area, and, it's, I could see the school not wanting people showing up there. And I went there. I was one of those people, every time I was there, I tried to be respectful, other than when I got attacked by a wacko coming out of the house. Just filming a surveillance camera was enough to trigger somebody. No, it's not. It's not, Mike B. I keep seeing that. People write, it's the first time in history that a crime scene structure has been raised before the trial, everybody. It's the first time. Right, okay. Anyways, you guys see this going on over here? Ask yourself this question. How many times has there been a murder in a house, and at trial the jury went to the house as a percentage? Give me that number. Will you do that kind of research there, Mike? Will you do that type of research? I doubt it. Yeah, prove me wrong. Hey, I think Mike B. Aliens did this. Prove me wrong, Mike. Aliens did this. Prove me wrong right there. All right? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, Mike. Didn't have an answer for that one. It's not weird. Yeah, it's not weird at all. After you've waited, you have a house. The judge actually condemned the house for health reasons. Okay? It was it's like a total hazardous area, and they just said, you know what? You've got all the scans in. Ask the defense. They said it was okay. It's not weird, you guys. It's not weird. It's not weird at all. You know what? The reason you might not be able to find out about it is because it was never a story before. Nobody cared in other cases. So it's not going to be there's not a headline that you can search. Look at, you find it odd that police took a pic of Kaylee's ID, but no one else's. How do you know, Mike, anything about what they did or didn't do? You don't have a clue. You have no idea who they took photographs of. They only took one of her. That's right, everybody. There's just something not adding up. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just not adding up. We'll figure it out though at some point. As long as I can keep saying something's not adding up, man, we can get a lot of material. I mean, I can just keep on. Keep it on. My name's Mike B, and I get respect. You cash in your jewelry is what Oh, wait, you're Mike B, not... Okay, never mind. Here we go, ripping through the house over here. Look at the Banfield, the frat party down the road, Xana Coronado, all the body cams we have seen. There's nothing at Banfield, has nothing to do with anything. That's 3 o'clock. Hey, Mike, have you watched any of the videos that I've made lately? I'm just curious. You seem absolutely confused. It's bizarre. The college got the property donated to them, and whoever it was probably wrote it off, the large amount of money, and then the college decided they want to take it down, and law enforcement agreed with them, and so did the defense team, to take down this building. Okay, now you go, well, why not keep it till trial? Why not keep it? I don't know. I mean, when's the trial going to be? Kohberger is going to delay the living crap out of this trial. If the trial happens in May, I will be shocked, but I'm sure it could happen. Yeah. because we're commenting to Mike B. Zozo. I care because what he's saying is ludicrous. Okay, so and you should too. You should think what he's saying is absolutely ludicrous, and they're not really trying to create any kind of normal conversation or anything like that. It's really embarrassing. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. It's okay if you don't want to tear the house down, but I just think, I mean, it's weird when people say it's bizarre that they're taking the house down. It's weird that it isn't. It isn't, okay? There's been many, many murder cases where after the murder, somebody else moved into the house, and they're not bringing a jury into that house at that point, you guys. So isn't that the same effect, just in general? You'd have to make a crime. Here's what you would argue all the time. So let's say they left that house there, and you wanted to go check for acoustics or something else. Wouldn't you then have to reload it up with all of the exact same, the television sets, the good vibes sign, all the different beds, everything, put them right back where they were, exactly how they were, so that you could replicate exactly how it was? Because then, if you don't do that, guess what Kohberger would do? Kohberger would say, you know what, they didn't make it exactly the way I had it. The way it was. I mean, not the way I had it. They didn't make it exactly the way it was. They left out Xana's room. Now, I think that would have been a different sound if you had just... whatever. Okay. So this is kind of crazy right here. I believe, right, we're looking at right there. I think that is Madison's bedroom door right there. And this is Kaylee's bedroom being torn apart right there. And the bathroom was right there on the left there. Yeah, isn't it amazing how weak homes are, though? It's crazy. Just, you can see why a tornado just rips them down. I mean, look at this. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, those are incredibly powerful machines. They weigh a lot, and they use leverage and stuff. But at the same time, my God. I mean, look at that. Just, okay. So, unfortunately, I miss it right when it collapses here in a second. It's right on this particular video, too. I mean, not that it matters that much, but... See, right now my drone's taking off because it needs to return to home. I didn't do that. It's stupid. And then the next shot is this one right here. That's it. It just fell. Like, literally in a minute and a half there, it collapsed to the ground, and I got my battery back in as fast as possible, and I flew it over there. And there we go. Well, thank you. Well, wait, it doesn't have to be... hey, Plato, you don't need to say, in my opinion. Just say... there is no conspiracy going on. All right? You don't need to say, in my opinion, there's no conspiracy. There isn't one. Okay? There's nothing weird about it. There's nothing strange. Absolutely, Bryan Kohberger, acting alone with dexterity, he killed all 4 of these victims all by himself. Okay? There isn't a Brent Kopacka. There isn't all these wild theories that people come up with. Yes, they beamed a signal to my drone. Thank you, wise child. I mean, can anybody point to anything at all? Just anything that points to another person? And don't say, here's what I think is hilarious, you guys. People always say this comment. I see it all the time. They say, well, how come he didn't leave any footprints? How come there's no blood trail going out the door? And I say to myself, well, how about this, everybody? Whoever you think the killer is, they got away with that, right? But doesn't it make more sense that a guy with a criminology degree would be able to do that more than some random schmo? Well, that's a great point, Gray. That's a great point, but I got to make it a conspiracy, so... All right. What do you mean? Well, that's okay. You heard what from who? You're hearing that because the comments made by the person up there are ludicrous. So if you want to come in here too and make your same dumb comments, you're more than welcome to. All right? Not what I expected here. Oh boy. Get out of here. What a baby. All right, let's see. No one can name one thing special and or intriguing reason to frame a 28-year-old basic teacher aide. Can anyone name a thing? No. Yeah. What is the reasoning behind that? Framing Bryan Kohberger. Oh, that's right. That's where the Brent Kopaka comes in. Oh boy, it's so interesting, everybody. We can really get a bunch of material out of that. Yeah, I mean, I've said that many times there, Alan. I mean, it's like, you know, you're looking at Bryan Kohberger has a white Elantra. And as I said many times, at 3:28, a white Elantra driving by an A&W restaurant is missing a front license plate. And at 3:30, that very same Elantra, matching the time perfectly, as I did last night, I did a reenactment, drove right into the 1122 King Road neighborhood. Then we know about the passes and all that stuff. And then guess what? In a 12-minute window, a K-bar knife sheath was deposited by the killer onto a bed in Madison Mogan's bedroom, and it had Bryan Kohberger's DNA on it, matching the vehicle that was driving around the neighborhood, and the fact that he turned his phone off for a 2-hour period of time. Yeah. Weird. I don't even know what that means, Barbara. No idea what that even means. Anybody know what that means? Is that a good thing or bad thing? Yeah, he's the most unlucky person on the planet. The unlucky Bryan Kohberger. The man who admits to driving around. And even the clown said maybe he was just a peeping Tom looking in the window. And then he saw the murders and drove away. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Man, at that point, wouldn't you just go... He's the most unlucky person there ever was. That'd be interesting to see. I mean, what are they? How clear did they make this? Did they get rid of the cement and the brick? Maybe they're letting somebody grab those bricks to use for some other landscaping somewhere. You know, the landscaping bricks there. I don't know. Where did you get the pictures of BK smiling? I don't know. I just typed in BK smiling on Google, and there it was. Don't forget those secret tunnels. Yeah, didn't you see it? Now look at it. If we zoom in right here, you guys. Right there. Do you see the tunnel? The entrance there? It comes out right there. Absolutely. Wait a minute. No, that's just dirt against where the cement was. Well, we'll get to it. You know, at some point we're going to see that tunnel. You know, don't worry, you guys. Let me ask you something, though. Should I be more like, when you got somebody like Mike B up there just throwing out absolute nonsense? Like, when, You find it odd that police took a picture of Kaylee's ID but no one else's? As if we know the answer, and I call it out. For me, it's just total illogical nonsense. I don't know why that's offensive to people. I'm not here to sit there and entertain every godforsaken crazy conspiracy. I want to get cut to the stuff that's really meaningful in a case. That stuff is nothing. Okay, good, Betty. I'm good. Good for you. Way to hold yourself back. Thanks. Yeah, the knife sheath DNA, I think it is important, but even without it, man, it's like you have him turning his phone off, you got his white Elantra missing the front license plate, he admits to driving around late at night, it makes the 4 passes, then his phone turns on 28 minutes later heading south out of Moscow, Idaho, and making its way around. That's enough circumstantially for me to go, man, who else could that be? And we know just off the surveillance footage that his car is the one that was parked for 12 minutes and then left at a high rate of speed. And I'm sorry if other people can't see that. It's okay. It's okay. I saw the notice complaint is common for them to take a picture of the ID to fill out their report. I mean, is that what he's referring to? The noise complaint picture? Yeah, but then there's other people that hate the channel for the same reason, Jay. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm supposed to be looking at Mike B's comments and thinking, wow, those are so interesting and so relevant. None of them had any meaning to me. Zero. Okay? So then I'm asked to explain something. Yeah, I like to use the facts that are given. And I can only use the facts that are given. Now, if the facts that we see are all fake, then, man, then I went down the wrong path, right? But I don't see it that way at all. I mean, in fact, the surveillance camera footage that was leaked proves that law enforcement is telling the truth when they explain the white Elantra moving around. It matches absolutely perfectly. Yes, that is the same vehicle. It's just that it's not a perpendicular shot from the camera when it's moving by. So for those out there that think you see a different shape, a little slightly different shape, it's because it's not the same angle. It's not a perpendicular shot. It's like a 45-degree angle. Let me ask you guys something. Why does anybody care about Kaylee's photograph? How it was taken or her ID or anything? How come that's something that you guys are aware of? Who cares about that? See, to me, what it means is that there's people digging into a conspiracy, and that was one of the elements that you just happen to remember from those kind of conversations. You get what I'm saying? So you were part of listening to that and going, yeah, well, the thing is, here's a real... But why was that ever something discussed? That's what I'm trying to get at, you guys. What was the reason that was discussed at some point by somebody? What did it mean to you when that was discussed? In chat, who repeats the conspiracy theories that the creator clown guy with the speaks of. Right, okay. No, I don't mind people saying what the conspiracy is so that I can just go, yeah, that's garbage. I just don't know what you're saying, run the world. Yeah, nobody knows. That's why I don't know who removed your comment, but nobody knows what that meant. Alright. Let's see what the next video was. Right there. I probably could have better contrast going on in there. But yeah, no, it's sort of interesting to see how this worked. Like this level was here, I think, originally with the next one, and then they built that third on top of it. I just hope when the trial happens that it's one of the biggest slam dunks in the history of mankind, and everybody just goes, wow, and gets it. And I think they have that information. That's why they're okay with this. The house may be at some point almost became irrelevant. You know, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is where the murders happened. These are the photographs. This is all this. But here's how we know he did it. Bing, 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 bing. Has nothing to do with the house. I think the house is just one of those things where you can, you know, talk about various theories, etc., and you know, maybe show the direction somebody came in, and how many of the clown lovers are out here, you know, watching tonight? Just checking. We've got 513 people watching. Maybe hit that like button if you would. Thank you. Right. They'll all be saying, well, we said that. Watch, Alan. They'll be going, yeah, we said that it could be him, but we also, you know, we are brave to go venture out and look at it. No. You guys said that Bryan Kohberger is innocent. And then some of you will say that I think he's involved, but he didn't act alone. But you never give any evidence at all of who the other person is that he's acting with. Where is that person? And what evidence is there of some other person acting? I don't subscribe to them. They always say, yeah, but okay, now he was friends with the whole Brent Kopacka thing that people say. Just think how ludicrous it is. It's somehow he's some kind of like secret operative that worked for, you know, I don't know, the CIA or some kind of undercover guy, and then he, you know, somehow he got. It was after the murders. He got killed in some sort of shootout somewhere, and he has the same initials. Which, what does that have to do with anything? Then he gets killed somehow, you know, like I was saying, and then, but he was an undercover person, like an informant or something. So they had to pin it on somebody else so it wouldn't lead back to them. So then they pinned it on Bryan Kohberger because he has the same initials, even though initials don't play a part in the case whatsoever. Yeah, but it's, wow. Amazing. And so what they did was they got some other schmo to drive around a white Elantra missing a front license plate over and over again, and then conveniently, for some unknown reason, killed 4 girls, even though Kopacka was killed for doing something else. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that one. Hey, thanks, Aaron. Appreciate the support there. Yeah, I was pretty tired driving, but I got a second wind. Yeah, it's hard to even explain it, Zoe, isn't it? The Kopacka one. It's there's nothing that makes sense logically about it when you go through it. It's just sort of these loose references, just sort of wanting something to be true, etc. Yeah. But like I said before, I don't care. Like, if you're somebody that really is against taking down the house, that's fine, but try not to be like have this incredible sort of angst and emotions, like, oh my god, this is really gonna, because it's not gonna affect anything, right? It's not. I wouldn't be surprised if Kohberger isn't happy as hell that this house was taken down. He's like, okay, hurry up. Maybe you'll find another sample of DNA. Hurry up. Hey, thanks, Scott. 88SH. Now these people are trying to be... Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk are... Man, I've never seen people are so cruel to them. Unbelievable. I mean, people literally think they have something to do with it. Unbelievable. Can you give me a motive? Well, it's a drug deal gone wrong, Gray. So here's what it is. Kohberger was there, sure. Yep. He was driving around, and he was trying to buy drugs. But nobody would come to the door. And he drove around for, 40 minutes trying to score that one elusive drug stash or whatever the hell he was trying to get. Oh my god. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Bryan Kohberger was a stalker. He was 12 different times he drove out there. Well, no, Gray, he was there to buy drugs those other 12 times. Don't you get it? That's the key. That's why he was always seen driving around that neighborhood. Because he was out there buying drugs. Yeah, what we should do is open up the 3D model. But you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to play this. I do have a new 360 degree video. I'll open that one up. I mean, do you guys think I should be more... I don't know. You guys, you can be honest too. Yeah. Let me do a poll. Okay, hold on a second. It won't change really how I do stuff probably, but I just want to see what you think. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. Let's just see what it is. Should I be more open to conspiracy theories with no supporting information? And look at that. 22% of the people say yes. Why? Can you answer why? What would be the reason I should? It's not fun for me. I like to put the case together with like a prosecutor might, with the information that they have that we get to see. Yeah, his alibi is that he was driving around late at night, but he won't be specific to where he was driving. That's what he says. He says he likes driving around late at night. Yeah, but look at 25% said yes. So is that the troll count? Is there anybody that's a normal channel member here that said, I mean, it's okay. See, it's hard to ask because trolls just do whatever the opposite of what you're saying anyway. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. Well, I know what to do. It's just it sucks that people don't get why you don't do that. It's just a total, complete waste of time. Complete. Name the last time one of these cases happened where a conspiracy was really the thing. I mean, I don't remember one. I mean, they do happen where there's a crazy case that there's a cover-up going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, but they're rare as hell. But everybody thinks every case is one. Okay, so you think I should entertain the conspiracy theories, Great Dane Mom? With no supporting information? Just listen to them and go, wow. Because here's the thing, it's I do read them, I see them, and I say, that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Here's why. And so isn't that okay? I mean, why do I need to go, that's fascinating. That is amazing. Let's all dig into that. Well, I tried to have their mind change, Zoza. But they're not going to listen. They have conspiracy theory on their mind. They've already made up their mind. They're with... That's not why they came here. That's why they had a follow-up for every single comment that I made back. It was always, prove it, prove it. You know, come on. Let's just be real here. I know the one types. If people are looking for an answer, they might say something like, you know, there's a time, there's sometimes I wonder about this. Those are people looking for an answer that maybe they might change their mind. These other ones, you can forget it, man. They're so deep in, you know, down the rabbit hole with the, you know, the clowns of the world that there's really no chance. I mean, I can just tell you right away when there's one of those types. You know, I mean, how many times you got to keep listening to what they're saying? Whenever you give them a reply, they say, well, what about this? Ooh. And it's always something that is a ludicrous thing to have to prove back. And that's when you know they're way down a deep rabbit hole. I mean, somebody out there, somebody who's watching right now that believes in this crazy stuff, ask me a question. Let's see how it goes. Just somebody. All right, I'm going to show you the 360-degree video here. I think it's got some interesting info in it again. It's better than the last one, I think. So look, this is right where... Oh, wait, you can't see it. Hold on. Right here. Here we go. Pick up the screen. All right, here we go. And this is just a couple days ago, and the house was still sitting there. Or yesterday, actually. See? Look how you can just see it. I can look around. There's Genesis back there. And there's the side of the house. So this whole segment here was torn down before I even got there at 6:50, and they were supposed to start at 7. No, I know you're watching and supporting me. Yep. Thank you. What was the Delphi portion up there? Did somebody make a connection somehow? Using the... yeah. Maybe are you behind, Jay? I don't know. It doesn't seem like what you're saying was related to what I was talking about. So this is just a 3D camera walking down the street. I can look around whatever I want to do. I can look there. I can look.
Oh,
because you can look backwards. This is 360.
There's the memorial set up there. Yeah, they always want you to disprove something, but they never prove it themselves. Yeah, so right here is where the surveillance camera was. It was right there above one of these doors right there, or windows. I think a door there, yeah. Right? And then we got to be up here. That's where we got to stage up there to film, right in this little cul-de-sac back there. And then here's King Road. This is where the 3-point turn was made.
Well, just what you thought you'd be doing on a vacation, huh?
Yeah, no, they do it for clicks. That's what they're doing.
Right.
They're doing it for click.
This is Taylor Avenue. And
They watch. They create that kind of content for views and sensationalism, and that's the whole point. Now maybe they're smarter than I am because that's what they're doing. But to me, this genre doesn't. You don't do that kind of stuff. It's not like. Now, if you want to claim not put yourself in the true crime world and call yourself something else, then that's fine. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Call it, Conspiracy Central. Here we go. Yeah, I've already explained that 10 times, Zozo. I said it's perfectly fine that people think they should have kept the house up. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory to keep the house. If you think they tore it down to cover something up, then yes, that's a conspiracy theory. But they tore it down because they were going to tear it down 8 months ago, if you guys remember. Then they left it up because the defense wanted it up, and then they did all they could, and then eventually they were okay with tearing it down too, so that the college could heal and move forward without the cathedral of the crime scene.
Elantra.
So this is sort of a important. What are you talking about? Kept the house. What do you mean? Kept the house, huh? What does that mean, Kathy? Just the sentence. Kept the house. This is Elantra Drive. I'm walking it. There's Banfield over there, right? Now look at when you're driving here, everybody. Check it out. Watch this. You're driving, and then right about, you can see the roof of it right there. Right there. So when Kohberger drove by at 9 in the morning, there it is right there. And it's much closer looking when you're there in person. It doesn't look that far away like that. It's bigger.
Elantra Drive, you can see right over.
Look at that. Look how you can just see if there were people there while he was driving with no leaves on the trees.
1122 King Road address.
You notice how nobody else has ever shown this? It doesn't mean anything to them because Kohberger isn't the guy. So they're not looking at the really, truly interesting stuff, which is stuff like this where you're showing what the view would have been like for Kohberger as he drove on Elantra Drive at 9 in the morning.
For cars.
And there's another really good shot even closer up here.
So when Kohberger came back at 9 in the morning, you could easily just
See, there it is. Look
go
at
by and saw what was going on.
See that? Look how clear that is right there. I almost came here to fly the drone, but I didn't need to.
You can even see the parking area from here.
See that? And this is where they had us right here. But you get what I'm saying, everybody? I mean, why don't other YouTubers look at this exact thing that we're looking at right here? This right here proves that when Kohberger was in his white Elantra driving by at 9 in the morning, he could see there, and he could also see when he was doing his loops. He could look over there and kind of monitor the lights. It could have been at 3:57 when he drove away. When he turned here, he went, "Oh my God, the lights are off!" And then he came back at 4:05. You know, we just don't know. Who cares where the insulation is? Is the insulation part of the case, or? See what I'm saying, Angie? See, what I like to do is like filter out and move to the things that are important. So what difference would it make if there's no insulation other than, man, that must have been a code violation. But what that has to do with the murder, we just don't know. Well, Gray, maybe the house was in disrepair and the owner needed to find a way to get rid of it. So he hired somebody to kill 4 people so that he could then eventually give the university and write off all the money, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. Mm-hmm. Ding, 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 ding. And by the way, if you're out there, everybody, if you could help support the Grant Hughes Investigates channel by either joining the channel or help support it with super chats or, whatever else. I guess there's PayPal, etc. But if you can, that'd be awesome. I do live streams every single day. Might be taking a look at the another Soto case tomorrow. Something like that, trying to map things out, get stuff figured out. Insulation because I think the roommates could have heard more than reported. Okay. But what difference does that make though? See, here's the thing, everybody. It's we know what Dylan Mortensen said in the probable cause because that's all law enforcement wanted to give us in the probable cause. There might be a hell of a lot more that they all heard and everything like that. So going, wow, there's no insulation. Boy, they should have heard a whole bunch more and stuff. There's nothing nefarious about them not saying, us not knowing what else they might have heard. Okay, so what happens is whenever you... Here's what I'm trying to get at with Dylan and Bethany Funk. Whenever you question anything about, like... why didn't they call 911 quicker? Why, they heard more. Why didn't she do this? Why? That means you're insinuating in some way that there's a possibility that they're connected to the crime itself. Because if you don't think that, then why do you have to have the answer to that question? I mean, I understand though, sort of wanting to know stuff like, man, so what really happened there? Oh man, she was petrified. She didn't call. Okay, that makes sense. But you see all these people that continually question things like, what? And they'll never admit to it, but they secretly believe that Dylan Mortensen or Bethany Funk have something to do with the murders. That's why they're asking the questions. Not every single one of them. There's people that just want to know, wow, how come it took so long to call 911? Because they're curious people. But the need to know isn't really important if you don't think that they have anything to do with it, right? I was just saying. It's so special and the decorations are so heartwarming. Let's see. They also asked all who was in the area to come forward from that night because BK was in the area. He did not come forward. Right. He said he was out driving around. Why didn't he come forward? You know why? Because he was a peeping Tom that night. And he would have had to admit that he was a peeping Tom, so he felt like he didn't want to come forward. He just witnessed the murder from the parking area there. And then he drove away at a high rate of speed because he was mortified or petrified at what he saw. So he drove away at a high rate of speed, and then instead of going to the police station to say what he saw, he realized, wow, I'll have to admit that I was a peeping Tom. So he drove way down south for another unknown reason because of that, and then he drove around. That's the kind of thinking you have to have. Nonsensical stuff. Thanks, Lillian, again. And, what was the other one? Oh, and G. Thank you so much, G. Appreciate that. Tune in tonight. Been out of town. Okay. Very cool. Well, you should go back and watch some of those live streams where I got my $90 driving 36 and a 25. I mean, that is like, percentage-wise, I guess driving 90 in a 60, but, impact-wise, it's much, much less than that. That is nothing. So come on, what are some of the conspiracy type theories you guys have heard out there? The crazy stuff? Go ahead. Type it in. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. I know. I was one of the people that got pulled over. I think I'm going... If I got pulled over one more time, I would have felt like, wow, how many times can somebody get pulled over? There's no tunnel. Yeah. Okay, well, so here's the thing, everybody. I think there very well might be some tunnels in, in the town. Like a lot of towns have tunnels, right? But to insinuate, therefore, there's a tunnel underneath 112 King Road, and somehow the killer came through the tunnel is absolutely absurd, right, everybody? I mean, doesn't everybody just realize that? And then Zozo said other people involved. Right, so the conspiracy theory, people just go, things don't add up. There had to have been more people involved. So can somebody type in, what are the reasons somebody else had to be involved? And if you haven't seen my 9 Minutes of Hell video and you still think one person couldn't do it, then I don't know what to do to help you out on that one. Easily enough time. I think the killer could have done it in 4 to 6 minutes. Easily. And I have it at 9 and people go, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's tunnels, but that's where the Ninja Turtles live. Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's one of them. Bryan Kohberger convinced another person to do the crime, but with BK's DNA on the sheath. Yeah. At first, I thought it was a short time until your videos. Oh, yeah. Well, my videos make it, I think watching the video, it seems even shorter. Like, I made it 9 minutes. I think it could be 4. Because you look at this time and you're just like, what? He walked into Madison's room. He could have just killed Madison pretty quickly, and then Kaylee tried to fight. Like 40 seconds, you're out of there. And then you go downstairs and there's something else happening. See, Zozo was trying to pretend that my video made it seem like it took longer. In knowing that that's exactly the opposite of the intention of it. Not one person out there went, wow, after watching yours, Gray, I thought the crime took longer. Let's see. At first I thought it was a short time until your videos. Right. Oh, you meant the long time? I don't know what you're saying now, because your comment up there said, at first I thought it was a very short time of the murders, then until your video came out. Now, when you watch that thing at 9 minutes is an eternity, it just feels like it's forever. I mean, especially when you get down to the Xana and Ethan portion. Man, that just goes on and on and on. Oh, that one. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's not how it's worded up there, but I thought he wouldn't have enough time. Right. Oh, you mean you thought it was shorter time that he had, like he didn't have a lot of time with each person, right? Yeah, I mean, let me just load that up for you. So, again, the clown thinks that animations and models that I make are really easy to make, and everybody can just go make them, and there's no skill involved, and they're absolutely useless, and they're just cartoons, and there's nothing meaningful whatsoever, but that's why he doesn't do them, because he can't make them. So, of course, it's really bad at that point. Now, he could make the same argument and say, well, that's why you don't cover the conspiracy theories, because you can't. And it's really like, no, I could pretend things are true and come up with all kinds of stuff and content up the wazoo, but yeah, especially when you just sit there and stare at the screen for 3 minutes and visualize what was happening, it's plenty of time. I think the murders could have happened in 4 to 6 minutes even. Because he was in a frenzy. He wasn't walking around chatting to people. He was moving. He was doing his the thing that he wanted to go do. All right, here you go. So for those out there who haven't seen this, because there's new people that are watching here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want actual content that's meaningful. I know some people don't like my personality, but when you deal with the amount of craziness that I do, I think you'd probably feel similar to me in the same circumstances. I guarantee it. Yeah, so I mean, this is crazy. So watch this. So here is this is what the house looked like. This is the one that got torn down today. And this whole segment right here, I mean, I don't know how they got that down so quick, but this entire portion right there was removed before 6:50. Okay? It was broken up. All right? So we didn't get to see Xana's room. It was in the dark. They might have done that intentionally, I wonder. But so if you're just looking at this one and you're coming through the bottom door, this is what it looks like in that house. So as soon as you come in, right to your right is the storage room. Then there is a bathroom and a utility room here. And this is Bethany Funk's room just below the living room. Okay, so I'm just turning around in there. And then that's the front door again right there. Then these are the stairs that you could take a left to go up to. And right when you get to the top of the stairs, I know this is absolutely meaningless, everybody. These types of models have no meaning whatsoever. So here's the living room right here. And then you turn right at the top of the stairs and go straight down the hall. And there's a bathroom on the left. And then right ahead is Xana's bedroom. Right there. And then right there on the left is Dylan Mortensen's room. Now she was right below Madison Mogan's room, and it had a clear shot view of the kitchen right there, right? Then you go up the stairs right here. And at the top of the stairs, you take a left to go into Kaylee's bedroom. She had two kind of closets on the wall there, and then a sliding glass window that led out onto the deck that you see. Then after you exit that bedroom, you go into, this is a bathroom right in front of us there. I didn't even model anything in there. It doesn't matter. Then this room right here, there was a window, a small closet, and then a bed right here that had Kaylee and Madison on it, and the knife sheath was right around in like that area underneath a quilt. Okay. Then you exit that room, and then come down the stairs, and then again, that's Dylan's room on the right there. And if I'm just doing a walkthrough in this video, there's no, this isn't a sequence of events. And then here's the sliding glass door in the kitchen and out. Okay? So for somebody, if you just wanted to get a feel of how the layout was, you could watch a video like this. There's a website out there that has a really good, rendering using 360-degree footage. It's really good too. Now this is just the one that I made. But it's not easy to build these things, okay? I'm just letting you know, it's not easy. This took me a few weeks to get it right. And I'm sure there's another 4 inches somewhere or something, At first I didn't even have this closet here, and I had to get that all squared away. Alright, so you see that, and here's us walking around again, back to this. So this is Elantra Drive, and then I'm going to move up, and then we walk all the way back down again. But you can definitely see the house the whole time. I mean, look at that. There's the roof of it over there. Then we came back into the neighborhood here. This is King Road, and we're going to head up like this now. And for those of you who are newer and you haven't seen, here's what it looks like behind 500 Queen Road, where the camera, or the white Elantra, did 4 different loops. Actually went back there 5 times though, but did an aborted turn one time. I think that 52 address is right here on one of these. That makes sense. And so you walk around, and look at how you can just drive right up and around and behind. And I mean, we can just play it at regular speed here. I think that guy was also there. looking around because I saw him later. And so this is where the Elantra drove. That's why I can't see most of it because it's behind. Here, let me go right here. Let me go back. Hold on a second. Do that part again. Yeah, right here. Now the camera is right underneath. It's right back here. That's where the camera was that was filming this parking lot, but you just happen to be able to see this one. If it goes back up and around.
It's like walking up a...
It's so steep right here, it's crazy. Look at the how steep that is. It's like going up a mountain. And just going to the end, there it is. I mean, look how absolutely close everything is. And I think this is, people saw this originally. If we started back here again and just look around, I mean, there it is. Nothing. Just 2 feet off the road there. This is where Kohberger went down the hill right there, likely. Maybe right here he walked over there and then down into the patio right there. See, why wouldn't this work at trial right here? Something like this, right? Like, okay, so he parked back here, we believe, and then he walked down this bank. This fence wasn't there. They probably took photos without the fence. And he walked down and he went in the patio right there and entered. Now, right here is Madison's bedroom, and we think what he was doing when he parked was he watched here and could see how easily like somebody could see this right here? And then you combine that with a 360 degree or 3D walkthrough of the house. Seems like it'd be really simple to explain to people. It's not difficult. And down here, and you could just describe things like this. So this right here down here is Bethany Funk's bedroom. She's one of the surviving roommates. And Dylan Mortensen lived right there and also was a surviving roommate. This window right here is the living room window. And this is the front door. That's the storage room. This is Bethany Funk's window. The one up here on the top, actually up here, is the living room. And this is Xana Kernodle. This is Kaylee Gonzalez's room up here. This is at the top of the stairs. There's a window looking out this way, and that is the bathroom window right there on the 3rd floor. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what else? What else do you guys have? Let's see. Let me read it. What are you talking about, Ashley? Nobody. I don't care about the. What are you talking about? The ID? Who cares? Honestly, this is ridiculous. How you're being mean to a watcher when they are correct. It's on the body. I never said it wasn't correct. I'm just saying, who cares that they took Kaylee's ID when they went over to a noise complaint? Who cares about that? What are you trying to insinuate with that information? What an embarrassment. Well, it's okay. Hey, Ashley, this is just the way I am, man. I don't like listening to or talking about the stuff that you like to talk about. So this likely isn't a channel for you. I'm sorry. If so, why couldn't Bethany and Dylan hear Xana and Ethan shout? How do you know they didn't hear something? And how do you know they shouted, Alan? And this isn't Alan McMahon, it's a different Alan. So, Alan, let me ask you something. How do you know that Xana and Ethan shouted? Where are you getting that from? There was no shouting heard on the surveillance camera at 1112 King Road. There's nothing. What makes you think there was shouting? What if Ethan was killed while he was still sleeping on the bed and Xana came back and he kind of like surprised her too and killed her? And then Madison was maybe sleeping, and then Kaylee woke up and she just started fighting him and not screaming. Not everybody screams every time, you know? Bryan Kohberger is seen driving around before and during the murders. Right. He's in southern... Well, he isn't seen himself. A vehicle matching his, and his phone pings. It turns off at 2:47, also in southern Pullman, Washington. And then at 2:44 and 2:53, a vehicle matching his is seen right in the area where his phone was pinging. And then it turned off for 2 hours and 1 minute. And inside the 2 hours and 1 minute that his phone was turned off, the murders happened. And then inside of that 2 hours, there's a 12-minute window where the same white Elantra that was seen in Pullman is parked right by the 1122 King Road address. And then, inside of that 12 minutes, a sheath was left inside the house with his DNA on it. But nope, it's not Bryan Kohberger, everybody. It's some other alien that we've never... Wow, that was a good way to do it. It's sort of like those dolls that you take out the outer shell. They make them in Germany, and the next one's smaller and smaller and smaller. You got the 2-hour window, right? Then you've got a 12-minute window inside of the 2-hour window. Then you've got a DNA found inside the house that was deposited inside... Oh, it was Russia, right? That's also found inside the bedroom of Madison Mogen. And by the way, this person comes on like 30 minutes after we've already talked about that. How about try not being on rewind? You ever thought of that? I know, I think it's... Well, even without the DNA on the knife sheath, to me, it's not reasonable to think it's not Bryan Kohberger. The DNA on the knife sheath, though, just solidifies everything. And there's a reason he was throwing stuff away in his neighbor's garbage can wearing gloves, because he knew that, right? Yep, that's right. Not everything's a conspiracy. That's what I always say. So... Anyways, you guys, I don't know if I have much more. I'm kind of tired. Been a long few days here. And I'm sorry if I'm not more accepting to just wild theories and thoughts. I'm not. Okay, they don't make sense to me immediately. And they're just astoundingly strange and odd, and I don't know why anybody cares about why a cop would grab Kaylee's ID but nobody else's. Like, what does that even mean to anybody? Like, what are you trying to get at with that one? That the cop somehow was involved and he's the one that set it up? I don't think... Here's what... You know what my opinion is? I don't think Kaylee was the target. I think Madison Mogen was the target of Bryan Kohberger. If he didn't go there to target all the people in the house and kill them all, he thought there was just going to be the 5 girls in there, and then he left in a hurry because things went awry. If that isn't true, I think Madison Mogen was the target and went up there to kill her or do whatever he was going to do first, but Kaylee happened to be there and woke up, and that's her attacks are worse because she fought with him, where Madison didn't, because she was asleep and she was much more intoxicated than Kaylee was, right? Remember that? I want to know why Ethan would have set of golf clubs with ping written in pink and pink string hanging off of the bag. Some clown claims were his speaking of ping. I don't know. I don't know if they were his at all. They could have been one of the girls' golf clubs, right? And why would Ethan's clubs be there? He doesn't live there. I guess that's what the joke was, right? Is he in here? Genesis? Oh. Yeah, he was happy. Like he was felt cool that you guys liked his video, the way he was filming it and stuff. That's kind of hard to do with cell phones. I don't know where you get the. I don't know why. We don't know. We don't have the information on why Kohberger. But, there's information. He's sort of like an incel type person. Although, according to clowns, if you smile, you can't be one of those people. Yeah. Look at him smile. He's really confident. He's such a... Wow, he's just awesome. Boom! Thinks they could get away with this these days. Mm-hmm. Why is the defense team not fighting for the actual evidence? Rather, they are looking to get the... Right, because they know that the evidence, the other evidence, some of it came from... I think if they feel like if they can get the DNA thrown out somehow, the DNA is what found Kohberger and led to the search warrant. And does that create this whole cascading event where the DNA is thrown out, therefore the fruit from that tree should be disallowed? It all led to... I mean, that would be horrendous if that happened. I don't think that has any chance in hell of happening. Because all FGG does is get a lead, and if the lead didn't pan out, it wouldn't have panned out. But it did. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I think I'm going to make a shorter night tonight. Really tired. Up late last night, pretty much. And not that late, but, we had to go to bed sort of early, but it still ended up being 11. Got up at 6. Then we did the whole filming thing, then drove for 5 hours and 50 minutes. And now I'm doing the live stream. So anyways, if you're out there and you appreciate sort of a more rational look at true crime, and I just don't have the stomach for just the crazy shit that people want you to talk about. It's just not what I do here. Okay, sometimes the crazy thing is reality, but it's very, very rare. The one example I use often is, I forgot the name of the case, but it was a case where there was a girl that was pregnant. She was at a school and walking out, and then she just disappeared. And I thought, man, maybe she took off and maybe that kid wasn't her husband's, and just sort of typical speculating kind of stuff. And then they found a baby on top of a garbage can in the city, and we thought, oh man, that must be hers. And it wasn't, it was somebody else's. And then it turns out that somebody posted an ad for a crib on Facebook. She went there to go look at it. The person strangled her from behind, a woman, and then with a knife cut the baby out of her stomach, and then had the baby and tried to take it to a hospital. And so that was just like, are you kidding me? Like that was wild. A crazy thing. But that was before anybody knew what happened. Nobody even knew that anything had happened to her. That's different in this case. They've arrested Bryan Kohberger because they believe he's the killer, and they have the evidence to prove he is. A grand jury saw it. And, he's toast. All right. Well, anyways, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for those who help support the channel during these videos and days out there. Maybe hit that like button for me if you could. I'm sorry, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, I'm not a mean person or anything like that. Like, I get along with people and stuff like that, but true crime to me is this narrow focus of shit that when I'm seeing stuff, I just respond a certain way. That's just how I am, okay? If you were to talk to me on the phone or something like that, or if we were communicating somewhere else that you would think, oh wow, okay. It's just totally different. This is a different thing here. I do not want ever to become a channel where it's the regular norm is to discuss really wild stuff. Now, there's stuff that's in the realm of rationality that you can think about, but I always like there to be a shred of information pointing in that direction. When there's nothing and it's just a thought, then it's just a thought, and you don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it. Yeah, no, I'm going to be the same as I am. I just don't want people to, because they always go, Gray, I thought you'd be. I don't know, man. I've been doing live shows for 4 years. I'm exactly the same the whole time. All right. All right. So thanks to Kami. Wait, by the way, I got to give away some memberships tonight. Hold on. I was going to do that from earlier. Forgot to do that. That is a pretty good thumbnail, isn't it? Thanks, Dan Burrow. Guess I forgot to share the video. Where is it? Okay. Right there. Membership gifting. Bye. And there we go. Yeah, and as I said, Zozo, it's okay to... I don't mind people not wanting the house torn down, but if you have a conspiracy angle as if the university is trying to cover something up, man, that gets kind of crazy at that point. Right? So there you go. Let's see. Who do we get him? We've got Lesney Meja. Let's see. Cat Keep On. Cocktail Dress. Annette Reed and Lark, just Lark. There you go. Well, yeah. Sometimes trolls get these. Isn't that one of the most disgusting things? By the way, if you're here, everybody, this is the mindset of the trolls that are here. They literally make themselves available for memberships so that they can steal them from the people out here that can't afford memberships who would just like one gifted to them. Isn't that just the most disgusting thing you've ever heard? But they do it. It's weird. Yeah, but odd in what way, though? It's not odd. Like, when you say the word odd, it makes it sound like there's something nefarious about it. Right. There isn't anything nefarious. Just say, yeah, it's something that doesn't normally happen. That's really about it. It's not odd or strange or bizarre or anything like that. You've got... let me ask you this. You guys think it's bizarre? One last thing here. That when there's a murder that happens, and let's say the trial doesn't happen in 2 years even, and a year and a half in, somebody else moves into that house. They put their furniture in there. They've moved in. They've settled in. Is that bizarre to you too? Because that happens all the damn time. I mean, that happens all the time. And that should be the exact same feeling that you have, because it's exactly the same thing. You're not going to be able to go in there and bring the jury into somebody else's house now with all the stuff in there. It's exactly the same. And they're destroying this because there were 4 murders there. It was a shitty house anyways. And I think it became, there was some sort of a biohazard angle. I mean, blood dripping through the walls and shit. And they're just like, let's get rid of this thing. Okay, but it's not like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah, I mean, you don't get them often where they literally raise the house a year and a half, a year like before the trial happens or whatever. But the trial part doesn't mean anything. Because they let people move into homes way before that. After they clean up the mess and everything, a new paint job, whatever, they move in people into those homes, which is exactly the same effect. It's not usable anymore for a trial, etc. That happens all the time. This is just one where nobody was ever going to move into that house again. It wasn't like it was a new house. This was a garbage. I mean, they just kept adding on to it. You could see it when they took that sucker down. It came down like in 1 second, man. That thing was... yeah, no trial date, etc. But anyways, you know, it is what it is. If you don't like that they moved it down because you think it might have helped the trial later, I get it, etc. But there's no conspiracy. There's nothing nefarious. There's no cover-up, etc. Okay? All right, back to this. Thank you very much to Hostetler Sandra, Gwendolyn B. with the cat eye. Thank you so much there. LM, and then DMC Donald, then J Case, cat eye, then Mark Willis, SW 4x4 Explorer, new member Surfy, let's see, Surfin Yali, Wise Child, Timothy Cecil, Aaron, Scott 88SH, Mark Willis, Ivan Victor, thanks Ivan, Kim DiMaggio, Dan Burrow, then I gifted 5 memberships, and then Tania Animas. All right. Let's see, anything in here? Oh, then there was earlier today on the PayPals, we had Karen gave me some gas money, Lillian, then Lisa on there, Sorensen, and Woobles, and Lillian again, thank you so much, and G, awesome. Thank you for generous donations there, everybody. Really appreciate it. Right? Doesn't it make it sound like they don't need anything else? I think I think law enforcement has had all they've needed for a few months now, if not longer. Like, months and months, and they're just like, yeah, go ahead, tear it down, whatever. We've got all we need. Thank you. Steve, we got you, man. That type of thing, But people do what they do, All right, everybody. Thank you for being there for all my live streams on the road there. Sometimes we had smaller crowds because I had to keep going live again, and then YouTube quits giving out your notifications. But I appreciate you all being there and supporting the channel and helping pay for that $90 speeding ticket. All right, you guys are awesome. And thanks for all the mods for doing what you guys do. And we will see you tomorrow. All right, so thanks again for watching. And as I always say, no dogs there. Until next time, everybody, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And
Thank
during
you,
this whole
Christine.
time, I have not seen one person that is a...
See you later, Christy Smith,
Crime
Holly Rose,
dissector.
Timothy Cecil,
Click
Plato,
rejector.
Sandy
I'm a
Shirley,
certified human
Wise
lies
Child,
detector.
Zozo,
Gonna get ya.
J
Gonna
Case,
stretch ya. If you try and
Solace,
play me like an old projector. Crime sector.
Jay,
is
Mark
my
Willis,
nectar. Professor
Holly
Glenn is gonna
Miranda,
give
Nikki
another
Zeus,
lecture. Crime
Lillian,
collector. Freak connector. And I'm always gonna be a puppet
Pam,
protector.
Cindy,
Fool deflector. Interceptor.
Lisa Valenzuela,
And I'm meaner than a spectre with a
Scott,
vector on his
Dan,
vector with
Hooroo!
a vector. Just remember I've a temper fucking check. I have no agenda.
I'm a pretender.
And I'll serve it to you
Straight
straight
without the blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya
On a mission to reveal the truth offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
All right, thanks everybody. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's on YouTube. Everybody can watch the. I just knew right when I drove by him. I go, oh god, here we go. I wasn't even going fast though, and he just saw I was from Oregon and thought, oh, here we go. here's an easy mark. I won't have to see this guy again. But anyways, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. And be safe out there.